Hey, are you tired of always playing in pentatonic boxes and you feel like you're stuck and you're not getting anywhere? Well, today what I'm going to do is show you a way to get out of that. What I'm going to do is show you how to play horizontally up and down the neck on one string at a time. It's going to show you a different way to improvise really cool melodic solos. This is going to give you something that is going to take you to the next level, I promise you. Once I learned something like this, it really changed my playing and really helped me figure out how to be more melodic, how to do some string bending, some slides at different parts, because if I am using this method instead of using box and just staying in one spot, I'm starting to sound more voice-like, more melodic. Let's get started on this today. My name is Shane. Here we go. So what we're going to do is show you guys how to play melodically with a whole major scale, whole 7-note scale, up and down this fretboard. So this is going to be in the key of G. So the chords are just going to be G, E minor, C, and D. That's what this whole backing track is over. So what I'm going to do is show you how to play, instead of playing the major pentatonic scale, something like this, I'm going to show you how to play the whole scale up the neck, and we're going to start right here on this G string. So this G string right here on the 3rd string on the right here. So we're going to play open, that's G, and then back to G on the 12th. So the notes in the G major scale are open G, and then A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. So in the key of G major, there's just one sharp, it's F sharp. So what this allows us to do is, as you can see, we're moving up the neck entirely. And then we could even start over right here on this 12th fret and play it again. So G, A, B, C, D, E. I'm running out of fretboard here, but it would go on to F sharp and G if we had more fretboard. Okay, so now that we have that one piece down, what we can start doing is using this one option to play melodic solos, because essentially what we're doing is we're limiting ourselves to stop playing boxes up and down this way and that way. So instead of playing in vertical, we're playing horizontal up and down the neck. So here's what we can do then. If we can find the G note all over the fretboard, we can start playing that same pattern. So we can play it right here on the top, on the lowest string, the E string. So G right here. That would be G. We can also play it right here because this is G. And you're probably saying, Shane, well, how are you able to move all across the fretboard like that? And the simple answer is I know the fretboard. So this is a really good example of why learning the fretboard is super important, because if you know where your G notes are at, you can play this. So a G note would be here. So if you just look at this right here on this diagram, you can see where all the G notes are at on the fretboard. Anywhere there's a G note, you can start this major scale, G major scale, and start playing this pattern. Let's skip down to the B string, because this is where your solos are really going to start soaring at. When you're playing the lower registers, it's going to sound more mellow and darker, and that's the way the guitar works. Whenever you go up here higher, so if you're playing it right here, kind of cuts through the mix and bites a little more. So the same thing here on, like we were playing here on this G, you're going to play it here because it's exactly the same, right? E and E, so you got. So once you have all this down, what you want to start doing is start making phrases, motifs, melodic hooks, melodic lead lines. So you can start doing that by experimenting with what works. You can always bend and slide into different notes. You can slide into the G from up here. And that's always going to work from the F sharp, because F sharp is in the key, right? You can bend on that one, hold it and resolve back to the G. You can bend up here from the B to the C. You can bend from the C to the D. You can do a lot of different options bending wise, and that's going to give you really cool phrasing and different ideas to play. So for an example, I could play right here on this lower register starting on the G. So what I just did there is I played starting on the G here on the D string, and then I went up here to the B string, and then I went down to the E string. So doing that, I know that's probably going to be a lot for some of you, but once you get there and take your time on it, I think it's going to be something you can start using right away. And something else to say, you don't always have to start on the G note. You can start on the major third, which would be B, right? You can bend into that. So if we were playing here over G, you can play here and play the B note. Something else is you can come all the way up here. This is your G note. You can slide all the way up to the second octave. That little thing works really good. Another cool thing you can do is you can start introducing patterns. Something I like to do sometimes is doing a pattern kind of like this. Let's start on We'll just play it here on the high E string. So what I'm doing is I'm playing G, and then I'm playing A, and then I'm going back to the A, going back to the B, going back to the C, going back to the D, and then hit the G. So basically the pattern is I'm hitting the last note that I just hit before, if that makes sense. So you don't always have to end on the G note on the end of the pattern. You can come down here and then play your A again. Stuff like that works really well. I know I'm giving you guys a lot of different examples, but I'm just showing you how awesome it is to be able to use these different avenues to play. Let's say you want to change keys and you want to do this in a different key. The same premise applies for a major scale. So if we want to play in C major, all we got to do is find our C note. So our C note here on the 5th string, right here on the 3rd fret. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Same thing if we take it and we play here. It'll be our C note. All you have to do is you just have to find the root note, and then you can start your major scale up and down the fretboard. Remember, you don't always have to play it right there. You can play it on the major 3rd, which is helpful. So in the case of C, it would be E, so you could start on E. So if we were doing here, and just something here was pretty cool, the major 3rd is right here. That's a C chord, right? Stuff like that works really well. Just take one string at a time and then work your way up to start playing it. But this is really going to give you guys great examples to start learning the fretboard. It's going to force you to find those G notes. It's going to force you to find the notes on the fretboard, because pentatonic boxes are fine, but they don't really teach you the fretboard. They just teach you shapes. This is an exercise that's going to force you to learn it. So now I'm going to play you guys solo here at the end that's going to kind of incorporate all these different aspects I've been talking about. All right, that's it for this lesson. I hope it's very helpful. Just remember, once you find the root note, you can play this whole major scale up and down the neck. Once you find it, the pattern's going to stay the same. Just find it on each string. Wherever that root note is where it starts. You guys have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.